Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a quick look here at BNB. We're going to explain a little bit why there's a good chance we might see the price action pull back. This is one of those coins I've been looking at for a little while. We're getting close to kind of change of pace, so to speak, and a lot of my alerts went off here recently. So I figured we cover this, see if it might be worth taking a signal and kind of go from there. If you are new to the channel, though, I ask you quickly, hit the like button, comment below, you get a chance. Love to hear your feedback. And obviously, if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is the site. Link down below. We do offer Trading Academy community, signals groups, and now a new addition, trade alerts here for our community members there. Just getting you some up-to-date detailed analysis, also followed by live charts. So let's take a quick look here at BNB and see what's going on back in data first, and recognize here the liquidation is just as much above and below the price action. So nothing too crazy here. That's kind of standard. You can see a lot of liquidation here, upwards of 600 previously, and this most recent massive area of liquidation at about 590 was already swept. So take a look at that. There's some late shorts at 620 to 640. So just bear in mind the price could continue higher to sweep those extra levels, but those are newer, mainly because there's likely a strong point of control here. So we'll discuss that here in just a moment. Let's quickly look up the daily time frame here and recognize that we are right there at that most recent point of control, 585. So is it a guarantee the price is going to bounce off that? No, it just implies this range that we're in between 570 and 605 is a rough estimate, round number, is that resistance range. So again, the likelihood of the price doing one of these is fairly low unless we continue to retest this level and break through that resistance. Let's see what the moving averages look like here as well. Look at the daily time frame. We can recognize that we're above the 100, 50, 200, 20. Everything's looking good here. So it's nice to be above those moving averages. Now, is that a guarantee that the price is going to stay where it's at? No, it just implies that we are above that trend, and the trend is your friend, right? So generally speaking, you don't necessarily trade into that. However, when it comes to this current wave, this current pattern here, there's a lot of other reasons why it might be advantageous, and I'll explain why here in a minute. Either way you look at it, money flow index is high, implies there's a lot of money flowing into this coin, and of course, we can see RSI just kind of hanging out there with the MACD. So generally speaking, everything looks pretty decent here. The only thing I would kind of urge you to consider is that we have a stochastic swing to the downside a second. I don't know if you followed my shows or my videos much at all, but the general consensus is that when you have a second stochastic swing to the downside or upside, it has more propensity to follow through and be stronger. The reason why is because the first is that initial test of whatever resistance. It breaks, therefore the stochastic continues higher, and then once you hit that second stochastic to the downside, in this case, it shows that we're starting to gain more strength. The bears are gaining more strength as the price goes higher because they have more selling pressure. That's why the second carries more weight. So in this case here, I'm speculating we're going to see the price action continue lower. We have a bearish engulfing candle here so far on the daily, and even though the SMAs are good, which is all well and good, we just lost a 20-day SMA. That's generally an indication to me that the momentum is potentially shifting. I like to emphasize the word potentially because there's no guarantees it's just going to drop. It just implies that we got to pay closer attention that this is now an area of interest. Okay, the price could move down lower. Does it have to? Does it always? No. In fact, we're right here at 50 on the RSI, getting close to it. This could be a bouncing point. Again, the reason why that's the case is because the more recent high can work potentially as a new low for us. Okay, so we'll just keep that on the chart to pay attention there. I would say a closure below 588, 590 roughly is a pretty solid consideration for a short. Take a look here at MACD. We're diverging now, and we can see, of course, stochastic starting to try to bottom out. So all those things combined together put us in a decent average situation here. Is it perfect? No, it is still slightly more bullish than bearish here on the 4-hour time frame, just kind of letting us know that there's a good chance we could see a bounce off this level because 50 on the RSI is right there. But from a momentum standpoint, the price action is absolutely shifting gears, and a lot of times momentum can essentially continue the price action in a certain direction. In fact, let's quickly look at this here too. I forgot to look at TD sequential. I was kind of curious about our overextension if there is one. We can see we hit a 9 on TD sequential and we're about 3 days of overtime into this area here. So it could be a consolidative effort at that point of control before the price legs up. Yes, there's that. But it's also more likely than not the price action hitting its overextended state and due to correct itself because the bulls have no more buying pressure and the bears are starting to try to sell those profits. Taking a look at the hourly, let's wrap this up here and see what the Ichimoku Cloud tells us. And we look at this one here. This is generally something I tend to favor when taking entry. And what I like to look for is lagging span bringing free and clear the price action. It is now to the downside. While it's not like a definitive 100% good to go. It's still below, letting us know that you should have sold your long position in profit if you haven't already. We also see that the lagging span is soon to intersect with the price action, letting us know that that momentum is shifting. And then we also have the cloud itself, where the price action is within the cloud. Generally, this is construed as a no buy zone, and you want to wait for the price action to break either above or below. But at this point, it does feel like the price is trending towards that. The most recent high here, we've broken below that level. We're establishing now lower lows, okay? So again, minus needs potential chart patterns, which I'll double check and analyze that, post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. This does look like it wants to continue to break lower. So I would say a closure below 590 today would make a ton of sense. But again, a lot of it depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin wants to pull back super hard, then I would say we'll see something similar here. We compare this coin to Bitcoin, we can kind of see a very similar structure. So me leaning more towards Bitcoin pulling back allows me to kind of understand that BNB should too, okay? Again, will it be a monumental retracement? Probably not, but it will and likely should be somewhat of an attempt towards that 570 mark, and or potentially bounce back up to this resistance level here at 588 if we break that. Okay, so there's a lot of little things kind of complementing here. To me, just more shifts in momentum to the downside that I would like to consider for the position taking it to the downside. But once more, again, this being a strong point of control, we look at this area here. There's a lot of reasons why the price action, if it breaks below, will continue lower, breaks above, will continue higher. Really, so this invalidation will occur, by the way, if we break above 606, and same thing as well if we break below that 580 mark. Okay, so it really just depends on what kind of trade you want to take. Ultimately, I think both directions are feasible at this point, but on a short-term time frame here, I'm leaning more towards the price pulling back first before it legs up again. And again, there's just a handful of reasons I just shared with you for that. Okay, cool. Hopefully that makes sense. Thanks again so much for watching. Do yourself a favor, trade BitUnix, a phenomenal exchange we use exclusively as a community. $5,500 in benefit rewards if you use my link to register. No KYC or VPN. We love them and they're awesome. So keep in mind, if you want an exchange that works well for you without having to verify and all that, it's pretty cool. Thanks again either way. I hope you all have a good rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.